Welcome to From Your Sisters. I'm Ava.
And I'm Alana. Today we're going to continue our conversation about the theater tips. So welcome to part 2.
If you haven't already listened to part 1, go listen to that one and come back or finish this episode.
Topics today include memorizing lines and monologues, your acting resume, and rehearsals. So let's get into it.
Oh my gosh. Before we get into memorizing lines and monologues, I have 2 weeks to do that. And I'm very scared.
Oh, because you have that musical play thingy at your school?
Yeah, it's kind of scary because I just found out about it yesterday, the 25th. And all my virtual submissions have to be submitted by February 10th. That is in 2 weeks.
Spicy.
I'm scared. I am
You got
scared.
this.
But anyway.
I'll help you through it if you need any polishing.
Oh, that's a good idea. We did that. Didn't we do that before with our with my monologue for my audition last year? Mm-hmm. That's what happened. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into this now.
Let's get started.
Let's get started.
Oh, I'm starting it?
Yes.
Skirt? Okay. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is memorizing lines and monologues. And for me, these are some of the tips that I've got throughout the years. It has worked for me. It'll probably work for you, but we're all different and we memorize things weirdly, so yes. I'm the person that memorizes weird details. That's not important. So, the first thing we're going to talk about, or the first... what's the... brain fart.
The first bullet point.
Thank you. I was like, what's the word? I'm like, what's the word?
First bullet point we have
is, drumroll, to practice a little section of whatever you're memorizing at a time. Because I know...
So if you have a multi-paragraph monologue, you have to just kind of give yourself something to focus on. So take the first 2 lines or something. Yeah, because
if you have a lot to memorize, it will be really stressful and hectic and I don't know where to start. But you should always it's okay, today I'm gonna only focus on this paragraph, or I'm gonna memorize these 5 lines that I have. So that's just a little system to start memorizing. To piggyback off of that, always practice your lines every day so it's fresh in your brain, because if not, then you won't get better at it. And I don't know why I just started talking British.
Why did you start talking British? Yeah, never do an accent unless you absolutely have to for an audition. For a school show, yeah, don't do an accent. You're not gonna get cast probably.
Yeah, but if the character has an accent, you'll just have to figure that out on your own. There's videos on YouTube of the vowels of
everything
how that accent
is on YouTube.
Literally everything's.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, because getting a little bit off topic, I'm taking a college course that we have to read these long stories each week, and then we have to write a response of how we feel about the story, or the text. And this week I'm reading the story called, it's actually a play called Man and Superman by Bernard Shaw. I don't know how to say the author's name. And I'm very bad at reading. So I'm I don't know how I'm gonna get this done. Then I was oh, YouTube's a thing. I can just look up an audiobook or someone reading it to me. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing the past 2 weeks with the reading.
Nice.
Yeah, so let's jump back on the train.
I'm going to touch on the next bullet point because honestly it makes sense. So it says give yourself a break when you need it. If you feel overwhelmed, or if you feel stressed about you're just not getting it, or you're not getting the next word or something like that, and you just can't figure it out, just stop. Come back in an hour or two, watch watch a movie, get some popcorn. Like,
or FaceTime a
give
friend.
yourself a break. Like, you don't have to spend hours on end practicing. If that works for you, it works for you. But it doesn't work for everybody, and it can be very stressful. So just give yourself a break.
Yeah, and it's okay to, like, set, like, just going back to the last bullet point, to, like, set a, like, scheduled time of memorizing your, like, section that you're gonna do. Yep. Like, you'd be like, okay, I'll do, like, memorize this section for an hour, and then I'll give myself a 15-minute break or do something else, and then I'll come back to it. So, like, you don't have to, like, force yourself to have in one sitting of, like, okay, I'm gonna try to get this done, and I'm gonna stress myself out. But that doesn't work out in the end if you're stressing
I think it also depends. I think it also depends on how long the monologue has to be. Because, like, if it's a 1 to 2 minute monologue, that shouldn't take you too long to memorize. But just pace yourself then, because you have a little bit more time to practice it. Now, if it has to be, like, a 5-minute monologue, because I know they exist, but they maybe not for auditions, but, like, for performance sake, like, give yourself a break.
Yeah, or...
You're gonna get it.
Or if it's, like, as I know we don't have, like, it's not in this category, but if you're, like memorizing a script, like, if you're, like, in the show and you're, like, memorizing a script and you have all these lines, like, could be like, okay, like, this, like, scene 1, like, I have to memorize all of this, and, like, that's what I'm gonna work on for today, like, just for an hour, and then I'll do something else and then come back to it. Yeah, so, yeah, don't put stress on yourself, because that's not healthy from experience.
If you're memorizing lines, most definitely get your script to a friend or something. I know in the current circumstances, you can't really, like, show up to a friend's house and be like, run lines with me. But, like, if you're, if your script is digital, like, send it over to a friend via email, or take a picture of the pages that you need to run and be like, you're the lines that aren't highlighted, which probably will happen if I get into our show, because I haven't had to memorize lines in so long, because I haven't been in a show in so long. Actually, I haven't been in a show where I had lines for so long, to be all honest. Wait, what did I just say? In all honesty.
You said words.
In all honesty, I just haven't been in a show where I've had to have lines, so I haven't had to memorize lines. So, yay.
If you need a study buddy, like a reading buddy, I got you.
Oh, you were already on the list.
Oh, yay! I'm so happy!
I mean, I don't know who else is on that list, but you are on it. You might be the list.
I think I know who else will be on that list, but we're not going to say who.
They probably wouldn't want to help in that case.
No, they will.
Maybe.
They will.
Okay. Now, the next one, because I get to be fancy today. Yes. We're adding a little bit more information, and honestly, like, in cases like this, we might start implementing this a little bit more, because it might be a little bit helpful, but it also depends on what topics we are talking about. So, the next bullet point is get some rest. Get some sleep.
Sleep.
Now,
relatable.
I'm about to sound all fancy, right? All right.
It's going to be Ravenclaw.
Okay. One of New York Film Academy's tips for memorization is sleep. The article that I read says that your brain builds up connections through sleep, which is the only way to make your memorization work into your long-term memory bank. Yes, I'm doing great today. So I honestly think that makes a lot of sense. And you even put on our notes for the entire episode, you said read the section you were memorizing before you go to bed. So, like, even if you're not sitting there, like, running it 20 times, you can just go through, read it once or twice, and then go to bed.
Yeah.
And it will just sit there lingering in your thoughts. Maybe it will be acted out inside your brain in your dreams. Who knows?
Yeah, because I know a friend that says, like, well, because we have, at my school, like, we do, like, a 24-hour project, so Like basically, like we do. I'm trying not to go off topic, but it's kind of a little bit. But so like the students like write the script, and then the students are also actors, and we have to like memorize these lines. And one of my friends was saying like I can't memorize these lines, and like I can only memorize lines when I go to sleep, but we can't go to sleep because it's like 24 hours. So like I've heard this experience, like this thing before. I never tried it, so like I don't know if it works, but if it works for you, go tell us on our Instagram.
Yeah.
From Your Sister's Podcast.
Yes, it is at From Your Sister's Podcast on Instagram. Oh, and then the final bullet point for this section and topic is have a handful of monologues that show you as an actor. Now, not everybody needs to have this. It just depends on like how devoted you are to like auditions and stuff. Because I know Alana probably has a whole repertoire of monologues in the back of her. Wow, my brain's doing so good today. That she could pull out a hat and remember
like
the back of her hand. Nope, by the palm of her hand. Yeah. What is the saying?
I don't know.
It's like you can remember. I don't know.
Well, because I know like you're trying to say like you could grab it from your back pocket. Because I know like my mom says to have like back pocket songs. Like I do have monologues, but I need to like refresh on them because I haven't looked at them for a while.
Yeah, I probably honestly have a monologue that I could rememorize, but I want to do a more fun one and don't sound like a crazy 30-year-old. Because the one monologue I had that was like super fun last year from one of my theater classes was this lady, and I think I read part of it in the last episode, where she's telling her therapist about a traumatic experience she had going to the theater to go see a play. And that play was Peter Pan.
Yeah, I think
It was such a fun monologue to do. But like it's like a 30-year-old part, honestly. So I don't necessarily want to audition for My School Musical like a 30-year-old.
Yeah, I think I've actually heard someone perform that monologue.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, because I first heard it was I just thought they were just talking about it because that's how, because like it actually like fit that person, and I was like, oh wait, that was a monologue. They're like, yeah, because I have an audition like next week. I'm like, that was amazing. Like I didn't even know, but yeah, because what I mean by having monologues that basically relate. I don't know what words to use.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. And I hope everybody else does, because I really don't know how I would be able to explain it in any better terms. Yeah,
to relate you as a person, like your monologue will relate to you, because I know that like you are trying to audition for like a certain character in a certain show, but the director or whoever's in the room is not wanting to see you be the character. They want to see you as your like self, and they're like, oh, I could see them as like this like character instead of you trying to be the character that you want, and then you're like, oh, I can't work with that.
You can't force yourself on a character.
Yeah, because you
can be like, yes, I'm interested in this character, yes, I'm interested in this character, but you cannot be like, this is the character that I want to be, so I'm going to audition exactly like this.
Yeah, because you can't change the director's like mind, like their vision. Like they have a vision, but there could be some case of like, oh, actually, like they'll have like they'll change their vision a little bit. It just matters of who comes.
But also, like, it depends on who they see and how well they do. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it was like if that actor fits their vision, they fits their vision. If it doesn't, then that's okay.
Yes.
Like I always say, like I don't care what part I get. It just matters for me to like get in the show and get a wonderful experience out of it. But
yeah, I kind of am the opposite of that, but I'm also very, very, very upset about audition results in the past few years. So, I mean,
theater's not a...
I mean, I kind of have a right to be, but we're not going to go there.
Theater is not an easy place to, like, get all the main roles. And,
I know. But, like, when you're always in the ensemble, you never get opportunities like that.
Everyone starts an ensemble and then works their way up.
Alana, I started in the ensemble in 4th grade.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Actually, I was the coroner. Did I tell you the story about how I got a callback as a 4th grader?
No. Well,
for Glinda?
We're not at the podcast, but you have told me about this.
Yeah, okay. So basically, in elementary school, we did the show The Wizard of Oz. And it was really fun. It was like the first theater experience I have ever had, other than like seeing a couple things. But there's a bug on my microphone. Okay. It's fine. So when we were auditioning, I loved The Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz was such a cool show. It's a movie, not a show. Such a cool movie to watch. And I loved Glinda. I loved the pink. I loved the crown. I loved everything about her. And so I just took a wild card. I was in 4th grade. And we were competing against, that was when they only had like through 7th grade, right?
I think so. Or was it 6th? No,
it might have been.
No, it had to be 7th. No,
I don't know. Because they expanded the school or something.
No, it had to be only 6th graders because they made a little, like, I don't know what's called, like those transportable, like, classrooms.
Yeah.
And that was both. Yeah, they were both 7th and 8th because how good that school was. So basically,
I was a 4th grader, and I was just like, you know what? I'll do it. So I go in, and I sing the song for Glinda, come out wherever you are. I still remember it. Oh my gosh, it's still engraved into me because I love that song so much. But I ended up being the only 4th grader that year to get a call back for a main role like that. And I was like, aw. But then my mom I didn't get it, but it was a really cool experience. But my mom told me after I told her that I had a callback for it, she was like, oh, we might have to buy you some platform shoes then. Because I would have been shorter than Dorothy. I was tiny as an elementary schooler. But we're kind of off topic. So the next thing we're going to talk about is your resume. So you don't have to have a resume. But
it would be nice to be it would be nice to have one.
It would be nice to have one just to show your professionalism and like your wanting to be in whatever show it is that you are auditioning for.
Yeah, and also it gives whoever's in the audition room a little taste of what experience you have. Because if you don't have a resume, they're probably thinking like, I don't know. Like, they're looking at you blindly. Like, so...
They don't see, like, what you've been in before or what you haven't been in before. Like, that kind of thing. I don't know. I might have to look and see if I have my resume done or not. Let me look. You can keep talking.
Oh.
I really don't know what to talk about.
Yeah, because I have my resume on my computer. That is
She's
updated.
got a lot of resume stuff.
Well, it's like from over the years. Like, because I don't remember.
I know, at this point, you probably should start getting rid of stuff.
Oh, I already have, actually. Like, I think we started a few years ago. I was like, I have too much on here. I had to, my old stuff that I was in, I just took it off. Because the resume was starting to become 2 pages. Oh, also, yeah, that's a tip. Only have your resume be 1 page because you don't want a lot of like pages of like what you've done. They just want to see like a snapshot. Thank you. Words aren't working today for some odd reason. A snapshot of what your experience is. so they have an idea of what you're capable of. The first bullet point is make sure that your resume is organized, because who wants to look at a messy resume?
Piece of clutter.
Yeah, so how you can declutter your resume is that you could put it under, I don't know, it's like not titles. What's
headings?
Like headings of
sections.
Whatever word of with you could put like your, for example, like vocal experience, your theater experience,
acting experience, crew experience,
like backstage, your awards,
special skills, your education.
Yeah.
And I put that. Of course, you can't see me, and I just put quotation marks around it because it's not necessarily your education. It's more of your theater classes. If you've taken theater classes or something like that. Or a master class you did or something like that. You probably could list there. I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, why would they want your education there? But I think is because they want to see if you are, I don't know why. Because me and Ava, we go to separate schools, but we have, the arts in it. And, I am a theater major at my school, and we take theater classes. So I don't know if they want to see if you're, during school, you're still taking theater classes, every day or something like that. I don't know why they want your education, I guess, if they, to see if you're smart. But I don't know.
I don't know. Well, because, for example, I did find mine. I put only a few things, because I only have a few things, sadly, on there under acting experience.
Wait, why is it sadly?
Because I wish I was in more.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't mean it has to be sad. You're still...
Alana?
Yes?
The last show I have listed on here is Once on This Island and The Secret Garden. Because The Little Mermaid can't be on there.
That's true. I wish I could put Chorus Line on mine, but
exactly.
I can't.
That's what I mean. The last show I technically was supposed to be in was The Little Mermaid, but I can't put it on my resume because it never happened.
Yeah, the last show I was in I was a stage manager for One Acts.
No, the last show you were in was She Kills Monsters.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I totally forgot. Oh my gosh. I was thinking, because I was thinking back to when we were all in school and the pandemic wasn't a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The last thing was the One Acts when I was a stage manager. Almost main.
Yep.
But it was supposed to be Chorus Line, but then we got postponed and then we couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm. I have that. I have one crew experience because in middle school I was the props manager for our quote-unquote musical. And I say quote-unquote musical because we don't understand why they made our musical, The Tempest, which is not a musical, and our play, The Secret Garden, which can be a musical.
Literally, I don't understand that. Because, for The Tempest, there was no singing in the show.
They just did intermission singing. That's it.
Well, they did the, before the show singing. I don't know what that's called.
Yeah.
And then, intermission singing.
Mm-hmm. Not
and
a musical.
that was called quote-unquote musical. I wish they could, flip it around, because there is music for A Secret Garden, like Ava said.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why that school that we went to was interesting.
Oh my gosh, it was very interesting. Everybody hates on The Tempest because we all know it was horrible.
Well, I don't hate on it. It wasn't that bad.
We hate on it because of the fact that they thought it was a good idea to make it a musical. That's it.
I don't even I think it's just a play. I didn't even think it was a musical.
But I got to organize the props, and man, I was good at my job. I cannot speak today. because of the pre-show and intermission stuff, I had to take care of 2 ukuleles, a bunch of swords, a bunch of other stuff. Go away!
Hi, Ava's dad!
Okay. I heard him coming up and I went...
This is what happens when you're
come in.
recording from home.
Yeah, seriously. So yeah. Oh, and then I have monologues that I have had. But that was just like my acting teacher's things. I don't really know. I need to find a better template for this because this is awful.
Yeah, there's the reason, like, my theater teacher wanted us to make a resume for class, and he had, like, this template, and I'm like, I don't really follow this. So I made, like, a brand new one. But that's not important.
Following that template just for your grade?
Basically, yeah, because on, like, the resume thing, he says, like, on the top, this is kind of, did I put it? Yeah, one of the other bullet points was to put your personal information, like, on the top of your resume so they know how to contact you. And
Yours is on the side, isn't it?
Well, it's my mother's email, but I probably should put my own email. But he says that you should have another email, a professional email for theater stuff. And I didn't have a professional email, so I just faked it. I think, like, our whole class did it. We just pretended that we had one.
I had to make a professional email to start using because I needed it for a resume actually that we were putting together in my English class. And so I just made it then so that I could just have it.
Yeah, I should.
And it just, like, it's a professional email is supposed to, like, have your name in it somehow.
Yeah. It's like,
and so it's not like I love dancing 04 or like soccer is my life 28. Like something that you made when you're 5 years old. Well, not 5, but like, you know, you get the gist.
Yeah, so the example would be like Alana Ponal at whateveraddress.com. Ponal is not my last name. I'm just putting that as a filler.
Okay, I was going to say, I was like, wait.
Hey, like, you know my last name, and it's not Ponal.
I know, I was just so confused. I was like, yeah, that's what you're going to put in your professional.
Yep, Alana Ponal. Hi, my name's Alana Ponal, and I'm going to do one monologue for you today. The first one. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, okay. We should be done with this
one. Actually, okay, there's one more bullet point that, like, I want to say. So the last one is make a PDF of, like, your resume, because I know now, like, we're in this era of the pandemic and also technology, so you can send your resume to the casting director and stuff. But, like, I got this from, like, a class that I took over the summer. They, like, said to put in a PDF because it's easier for them to open it instead of you, like, sending them something, like, in a Google Doc or something. Like, that you...
Well, yeah, that makes so much sense.
Because, like...
To put it in a PDF. Like, why would you send them your Google Doc?
I don't know.
Like, if you have the PDF attached to said email, they can click it, open it, and it's there.
Yeah, but people don't think that sometimes. You sometimes have to just, like, give it a little nudge. Like, hey, just put in a PDF. It'll be easier. You'll thank me later. So, yeah, that's the last oh my lord. My
bullet
Thank you.
That is the last
bullet point of the resume.
Episode.
Of the episode?
Not the episode.
I was like,
what did I say? I said of the episode.
Someone wants to go to bed.
No, I'm lying. No, I don't. But that's another story.
Okay, so the last bullet point is rehearsal. So after all of the anxiety from going through the auditions, you finally got the cast list and you made it in the show. Congratulations.
Oh my god, that's the most stressful day when you know the cast list is going up and then you're just like waiting.
Yeah, it's like you get like I don't want to say sick to your stomach, but like when
Oh, you get sick to your stomach if it's me. Yeah.
like for me, like when, because for school the cast list comes up at the end of the day, so it's not like in the
Exactly.
morning, but like at the end of the day, and like my stomach, like it doesn't hurt. I don't know, like it feels weird in my stomach area when I'm like walking.
Stomach area.
I don't know. Okay, like I can't
You
explain
just say in my stomach.
like, well, because our stomach is on the side, like like down, like here. Like it's not in one side. It's like the whole
Yeah. Stomach.
belly, like the belly area. There we go. Not stomach, belly area. It
Okay.
like it just feels like I don't like it. I don't. It just feels weird. I can't explain it.
Okay.
It's not a sick
I know what you're
feeling.
talking about though.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like I'm jumping off the train again. Let's get back on.
It's fine.
Yes. So we just have just a few bullet points of basically what you should do for rehearsal so you're prepared. So I keep saying so a lot.
It's fine. It's like the best transitioning word in the English language.
But for me, like I say so in like too many times.
Oh yeah. Me too.
I say like more than you've probably said like. We should have someone be counting the.
Oh my gosh! If we had video for this, imagine us doing a like counter, like in the corner. Every time
that's
you
gonna
do
be
it.
going off like bing, 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 bing. Because I say it so many times.
At least as we've aged, we've at least grown out of using it in every 5 seconds.
Oh, like.
Like when we were
see?
in Mitchell school,
Well,
and everybody was like.
Well, in middle school and elementary school, I used I used too much of the word and. I say did it and.
I
But
don't
now-
even remember what I was really bad at using. I was bad at using like a lot in middle school.
I only remember it because I took speech therapy, and that's what they. I don't know what, not to beat me down on, but like you're using it too much. But that's what they were like. They were training me to not say "and" for every sentence.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but now that "and" has turned into the word "like."
Like.
It's like a filler word. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah,
like
'cause-
and
No, because my
and
like. Yeah, look, we're jumping off the train, but before we go back on.
rehearsals.
Like my family keeps like getting on me, and it's like a game for them because like when they hear me say like the word like, they are like and like
That's great.
and then I try to focus on not saying the word like and
And
when-
then you can't process what you're trying to say.
yeah, and then when I don't focus it on anymore, then I start using the word like again.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Jumping back on the train.
to the train. All right.
So, the first bullet point for rehearsal is showing up to the rehearsal 15 minutes beforehand.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the auditions, so you don't feel like anxious and like rushed.
Especially like if it's for school, like if it's an after school rehearsal, make sure you bring food first of all.
Yes.
Like to eat a small snack before you start getting into rehearsal stuff. And you'll just end up chilling wherever the rehearsals are for like a good 20-30 minutes.
Yeah, maybe like when you're just chilling there waiting for rehearsal to start, you can be practicing your lines, or
Exactly.
or if you guys are doing like dances, you can be practicing your dance, or like get someone else to be like, hey, let's do like the dance while like we're waiting.
Mm-hmm.
So
Or
if you
see
could
if a scene partner or wants to run anything. But honestly, like if it's your first rehearsal,
definitely not be late.
do not be late.
Do not be late.
But also be prepared. You gotta have that pencil. Gotta have that pencil. Got
And-
to have the pencil
And eraser.
and an eraser.
And your script. I forgot to add
Well, yeah, that too. You want the script.
No,
you want
don't
the
bring your
script or the
script.
music or all of the above.
Yeah, because always have a pencil handy, because if you're doing blocking or whatever, you can just like whip the pencil out and you'd be like, okay, have to go
Stage left.
stage left, go up stage right, If you don't know the block, the up stage or down stage, right stage, left stage, just look it up. It's a little...
In the simplest terms, you look at it like a ramp.
Yeah, so the back of the stage is upstage.
Upstage.
And then towards the audience is downstage. It's because back in the olden days...
I was going to say, back in the olden days, stages were literally built like ramps. So if they were told to go upstage, they would be going up the stage.
Yeah, they were slanted.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Me neither. I think I had an illusion thing or whatever. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe so more people could see what was happening. I don't know.
I guess. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and then stage left and stage right, that's just a whole ordeal that people still get mixed up.
Because, okay, so how you can remember which is stage right and which is stage left, if you're looking at the audience, you're using your right and left, not the audience's right and left.
Yeah. I guess it's not that confusing, but still, people still mix it up.
I even still, get messed up because, we learn it in theater class and we get tested on it. Oh. And there was one test I accidentally flipped it. So,
oh no.
So I got them all wrong. Or the right and left I got wrong. And I was like, dang it. But yeah. So make sure you know what direction is which.
Yeah.
So you don't mess up.
And if you really don't remember, just be like, can you get to your director, whoever's doing your blocking or whatever, be like, hey, I can't remember exactly what this is. Can you just give me a refresher so that I can help myself help you in a way? That kind of thing. It would be it's going to be helpful to the director if you know what you're doing. So if you just jot it down in the corner of your page or something like that, where each place is, that would be helpful.
Yeah. So
this is so boring.
It kind of
I am so sorry. This episode, if you guys don't like it, tell us, please. Go to our Instagram and leave us a comment on the announcement for this episode and tell us that you hated it, because we hate it too.
This is boring.
This second half of this, we're so awkward because it's information that we know, but we're trying to figure out how to deliver it in a way that's going to be helpful to you.
Yeah, because we understand it. Bring a pencil and eraser. Yeah, I understand that. You don't have to explain that to me.
Yeah. So please give us your feedback. Also, I think this week we might put up a little post about getting what's the word? Recommendations, not recommendations. Thoughts. No, not that either.
Ideas.
There we go. Future episodes to see what you guys want to hear, because we want you guys to be involved. Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't want us...
Also, if I'm remembering correctly, on our Anchor page, which is in our bio, I'm pretty sure there is a way that you can send us a message, and then we can put it at the end of an episode. So let me check that.
And while she's doing that, so give us...
it says, nice try. You can't send yourself a voice message, but you can. Sorry if we're cutting you off. You're cool. There is a option. If you look at our Anchor page, it is our public page. It shows where all the platforms where this podcast is available, and then it says From Your Sisters by Ava and Alana, and then it has upcoming episodes and stuff like that, and credits. And then it says listen to on Spotify, and then the next one is message. And you can send us a voice message, and we would love to hear from you guys. That would be fantastic.
Please. Yeah, because I was going to say that, we want to hear what you want us to talk about, because, we're not running out of ideas. It's just we didn't know, what to talk about. Well, we have something much better than what we're talking about now for next episode.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
It's also gonna be formatted just a tad differently because I'm actually using it for a project for school. Because ironically, my teacher's like, by the way, guys, we're doing a podcast like section this quarter, and I went, and so we're gonna have to make our own podcast. So next week's episode is actually going to be my project and our next episode.
Yeah.
Yay! So we're just gonna have a little bit more like professional, like not as like conversational, but it's still gonna be conversational. So you're not gonna be missing out on that. It's just gonna have like research put into it instead of us just talking like human beings.
Yeah, it's gonna be more interesting and entertaining because
it really will be. And honestly, the topic. Sorry for cutting you off. I feel so bad that I keep doing this. Keep talking before I say what I was going to say.
I actually kind of forgot.
Okay. Anyway. So basically, it's honestly a good topic for us to do this research on because not only is it relatable for both of us, it's also like something that researchers can actually back up. Mm-hmm. So I have to do that research. But... Yeah, I hope you guys tune in for next week's episode because honestly, I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah, me too. Actually,
especially because Alana has a really interesting story to share that has to do with our topic.
Oh,
so yeah, like, you do. Do you remember?
Yeah, I was like, wait, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh wait, yeah.
Without giving anything away.
You just have to stay tuned. Like next week, it will be so relatable.
It really will be. So
yes.
Yeah. So I guess that kind of like wraps up everything. I know we kind of like slid off of what we were talking about these 2 episodes actually. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Oh, there's one more thing.
Oh, there's one more thing?
Yeah, because we didn't talk about the last bullet point.
Oh, right. Okay. So rehearsals. We're going to jump back into what we have to talk about for rehearsals.
One more thing before you guys go.
One more thing.
What is it? The last one more thing. Sorry,
I'm acting like I don't have our like guide in front of me, so I was just like, "What is it?"
Yeah. Okay. So the last thing is wear comfortable shoes to your rehearsal
and/or clothes. Don't wear a dress to rehearsal.
Yeah. Both clothes and shoes, be comfortable because like you're gonna be moving around and probably be standing most of the rehearsal if you're doing blocking that day.
Yep.
And you don't want to be in heels or somehow
don't wear heels. Oh my gosh. I mean, depending on the director, you might be able to just go barefoot. But
yeah.
That's depending on the director.
Yeah, it's depending on the like what show you're doing. If you're wearing character shoes, then you're wearing character shoes for the show. But I don't know. I don't know how your guys' rehearsals work, but every rehearsal you should wear comfy shoes so your feet won't be aching and hurting while you're standing there for the whole
I always wore tennis shoes, so...
Yeah, I did too.
For before COVID hit and everything, when we were doing our choreography rehearsals or any other rehearsals, I was just wearing tennis shoes because we were standing or we were moving...
Yeah,
dancing.
I was like, it's easier to move around in tennis shoes than it is.
But also, like the Little Mermaid, which was the show that we were going to be doing, like we didn't need any kind of specific shoes. Honestly, we probably would have ended up wearing either tennis shoes or a form of like jazz shoes or something because like as fish, we shouldn't be wearing character shoes. The only person that probably would be... Actually, no, that's a lie. All the mermaids and the special fish got to wear Heelys.
Oh. I think I've seen that at our community...
Local theater.
Theater. Yeah, I was like... I actually own Heelys, but I
want a pair of Heelys so bad.
I was like, you can take mine. I just don't know how to use them.
Alana, you don't have the same shoe size as me.
Wait, what shoe size are you?
I'm a 9.5.
I'm an 8.5. Or a 9. It depends on the shoe.
Well, I'm a 9.5 or a 9. So
I'm an 8.5 or a 9. Why did I say it like that?
I have no idea.
Fun facts. I said fun facts, but it didn't sound like
You go,
that.
fun facts. Okay, we're getting so off topic. This is like literally like a comedy mixed with an actual podcast.
But Ava,
So-
we're trying to make this boring episode into something interesting.
Okay, I know that, but like it's okay. We're pretty much done anyway. So
Yes.
again, thank you for listening. Have a fantastic weekend
And stay
or
tuned for
or
next
day
episode.
or whatever. Yeah, stay tuned for our next episode. Whoosh.
It's not my YouTube channel. Check out our Instagram at From Your Sisters Podcast. Again, that's at From Your Sisters Podcast.
I'm Ava.
And I'm Alana. And we'll see you soon.